Gala Allah murder.
Police are commanding Yala Allah murder. Police are commanding Yala Allah murder. Sanko kissy love upon the diamond Yala Allah murder. Sanko kissy love upon the diamond Yala Allah murder. Police are commanding Yala Allah murder. Police are commanding Yala Allah murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police have come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman have come.
Sanko chase the love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder. Sanko chase the love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder.
Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder. Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police have come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman have come.
Sanko squeeze the love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder. Sanko squeeze the love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder.
Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Sanko left the love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder. Sanko left the love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder. Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Sanko boy,
You better run.
Sanko boy, police have come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko.
All right, just in case you're wondering what's happening, share the link, spread the word that we are just going to do a mid-afternoon kind of something here on 107.1 FM in order to keep the information in the front burner. We do not believe in just going to sleep and just forgetting about things. So I got some information for you. So spread the word, share the link, and we'll be right back with this special program.
Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police have come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman have come.
Sanko licky love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder. Sanko licky love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder.
Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder. Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Police have come and the gala Allah murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police have come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman have come.
Sanko chase the love upon the dam and the gala Allah murder. Sanko chase the love upon the dam.
Yes, my name is Jasnity Kaldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
Hey fans, it's karaoke and oldies night this and every Thursday at Club Twilight Sideline Dam, Buxton. Dance to the magical songs of yesteryear by popular DJs and Camps Audio. Admission is free. Come out. Let's make memories at Club Twilight, Sideline Dam, Buxton North.
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cop. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cop. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
Take responsibility. We want you to look out for us. We do not want no segregation. No. We are one people. And if we're going to do it, let's do it together.
All right. Hey, guess what? Let's rock and roll as is. Good afternoon to all of you. We want to rock and roll because we cannot allow these wicked demonic forces in the PPP to get by and to think that they have an upper hand on us. They just don't. And so here's an update. Khadaki Amsterdam is still in the lockups. And senior police officers and even the junior ranks are upset that they have to follow illegal orders. And now some of you might say, oh, they don't have to follow the illegal orders. But that's exactly what's going on in the Guyana police force. It has been going on for years under the corrupt PPP regime. So don't be surprised by these things. Let me say, the folks in Guyana, they are experiencing blackouts. They are experiencing horrible internet connection. You saw it earlier with Paul Slow and his show. And folks are experiencing that even as we speak. So share the link and let's get on with the program. So Khadaki Amsterdam is still in the lockups. He is still there. Again, I repeat, Khadaki Amsterdam is still in the lockups. As you can see, there's nothing. No improvement as yet. I just spoke with Dr. David Hines, who has confirmed that nothing as yet. Absolutely nothing. Are we going to get on with the program? Let me just say hi to all of you who tune in, wherever you are, whether you're in a church or you're in your office, you're driving, wherever you are. Good afternoon. And I noticed Wayne V. Caesar. I don't know if the V, next, whenever he's on the show, we'll ask what the V stands for, whether it's Vernon, Victoria, Victoria, we don't know. Veronica, we don't know. I'm not Veronica. Okay, we know it's not Veronica. Lachman Aziz, how are you doing? And Brenda Braithwaite, all of the regulars, they're with us. Bantu King babysits like me, so he doesn't have much to do all day and night babysitting. Eula, and all of you. All right, so here's what I want to talk about. Apart from the Khadaki Amsterdam situation, and let me just remind you guys that Khadaki is in handcuffs, frivolous accusations against him, frivolous indeed. But when this guy accusation, and look how this is Dharamla, look how they were able to walk him through in the police compound. He didn't spend the night in the police lockups. There was no handcuffs, there was no chains, there was no shackles, there was nothing, absolutely nothing. And when you compare that to Khadaki, understand what is happening in Guyana, understand the racism in Guyana. Some people do not like to use the word racism to describe the corrupt PPP regime, but that's exactly what they are and what they're about. We take a look at what they did to this woman in Agricola, in Mocha, and this is what they do to persons of African descent throughout the country. And, they have a history of doing just this. This is nothing new. This is light, apart from the persecution, apart from the wrongful incarceration, trumped up charges against individuals. We know that is what they are about. It's nothing new, absolutely nothing new with the PPP regime. I repeat, nothing new with the PPP regime. This is how they operate. They go after individuals, mainly folks of African descent, and this is how they treat persons of African descent. And that explains why Khadaki Amsterdam is in the lockup still. He has been in the lockup since yesterday. And I want those individuals, those enablers from Brooklyn to see and understand why we are upset with them. They must see and understand why we are upset with them and why we are still boycotting any sort of business that they have. So Khadaki Amsterdam is still there. This is a racist, corrupt PPP regime. Khadaki Amsterdam has not committed a crime. Khadaki Amsterdam did not lift a finger against anyone. Khadaki Amsterdam should not be held and should not be punished by a caller who we are hearing, mind you, allegations that the PPP set up one of their callers from Freedom House to create mischief. That is what they do. And if in fact this thing took place months ago or whatever, for them to bring it now, something isn't adding up. It's obvious that they want to punish Khadaki Amsterdam, or the other thing, and we cannot rule the PPP out for these sort of things, is to possibly kill Khadaki Amsterdam. We cannot rule that out with the PPP regime and some of their vicious supporters. So David Hines and others are keeping an eye. Dion Abrams and others are keeping an eye, including Khadaki's lawyers, Ms. Stevens and Ms. Jeffers and Nigel Hughes. They're all, and other supporters on the ground are keeping an eye on Mr. Khadaki Amsterdam. If you're now joining us, it's a live program. It's 8 minutes after 2 o'clock. Now, I want to discuss something with y'all before we get back to Khadaki Amsterdam. And thank you so much, Ann John. Ann John is always with us. These people are babysitters just like me. All of us are babysitters, right? All right. Right now, the police, they're babysitters because they're babysitting Khadaki Amsterdam. Charlene, in the spiteful, vindictive, racist PPP regime. Now, this is what I want to discuss with y'all. So the PPP is on a mission. They have no shame. They took the congressman and his staff members and his colleagues, mind you. They took these folks into Albaiston. We know what happened when they were in Mocha yesterday. It didn't work out well for them in Mocha. So they decided now, they took them for a tour through Parliament with Mansour Nadir. They're not going to tell them that Parliament is corrupt. They're not going to tell them that Parliament is undemocratic. But they're walking all over with the congressman who suddenly they want to impress the congressman because they are ashamed. They are ashamed, especially with what happened in Mocha Arcadia yesterday. PPP was embarrassed. They staged that event in Mocha Arcadia and it backfired on them. Things didn't work how they wanted it to work so that they can get people, some of their paid individuals in the audience, a $5,000 box of cook-up and a $5,000 and a box of cook-up. They paid those few persons in the audience, but thank God that the people of Mocha Arcadia, the people who lived there, the people who suffered at the hands of the PPP regime, they were able to be out there in their numbers. And thanks to the congressman for recognizing that the corrupt and racist PPP regime had an agenda to attempt to brainwash the congressman and his visiting team. This is what happened, though.
Thank you so much for that. But if I could have a point of privilege, this is a family dialogue. If one person wants to talk longer, I am available to listen. So we're going to do this like we're sitting in the kitchen. I want to hear from you. I want to know the challenges. And so I'm not here representing your government. I'm here as a representative from my district, or the 1st District of Illinois, and I want to hear from you. And I hope you would be as candid as you can. Some people are going to take longer because they have more to say, and I appreciate that. So in that spirit, I thank you.
Okay, so the congressman made his point lucidly clear. And Lick-Lip, they were embarrassed. And so after that embarrassment there, not just from that, but from the fact that residents went out and they spoke about the brutality, they spoke about the oppression, they spoke about the vindictiveness on the part of the corrupt, racist PPP regime, the apartheid PPP regime. So they weren't satisfied and they said, look, how can they show the congressman in some other areas and to make it appear that persons of African descent. Notice also, they're not taking the congressman to Lethem or Blackbush Polder or Port Morant or Manripo or Enmore. They're not taking the congressman there. They're playing the race card, or they are attempting to make it appear that African Guyanese are comfortable with the PPP. So they are playing the race card. They took the congressman to Mocha. They took the congressman to Linden. They took the congressman to Albaiston. But they're not taking the congressman to Manripo, Enmore, Luzignan. They're not taking him to those places at all. Ask yourselves why. I think you already know the answer. But this is comical. Listen to some of these people. Listen to them and understand why this is comical. And I'm not even sure that the congressman bought into this. Look at the young lady all the way to the left. Not the one drinking out of a water bottle there. The one right behind her, I believe she is part of the visiting team of the congressman. She obviously is not impressed. But I see two criminals, two convicts who are there. Jason Abdullah, convict. Kwame McCoy, convict. and we notice some other known faces there. Some of these folks are contract workers. And I'm wondering whether they were forced. And I hope the congressman and so forth picked up that some of these folks were coerced. They were forced into going out there, and they were rounded up like cattle to say, come, 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 come. Talk some good things. But when you listen to these folks, you know that something isn't right. Let's go to it, please. Oops. Who has on that long blue dress, long skirt, long sleeve? Anyways, I used to wear some suits as well, but so it looks weird here altogether.
How long have you been in this?
Like 4 years. 4 years.
Any current projects you're working on?
Yes. I'm doing Italian at Ministry of Health at this point in time.
Okay. And how big is your company?
It have like about 9 workers at this point. Yeah.
Excellent.
And people from like.
Are you able to finance your equipment and have access to equipment?
Yeah. Yes, due to the government. I want to say thanks to the government again.
But these folks, you could tell again, guys, we're big, but we're not stupid. You can tell that these folks were forced into doing this. Some of them might cost them, bench up, carry so and so. That's okay. I can carry my so and so for truth. It's okay. But I'm very sympathetic with these folks. They were forced. It appears that they were forced to just go on the camera. They just rounded these people up and say, come on. And you could tell, look at that lady said that she has been doing something at the Ministry of Health for 4 years now. And note the exact timing, the years. 4 years now. 4 years now. But the question is, what the PPP did for the past 23 years when they were in office to this very community, to these very people. Some of them I know. What exactly the PPP did? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So they gathered these people up. Put our close quick, the congressman coming. And I hope the congressman is watching. I don't know if he has time to watch, but to know that this was all staged, this was all a rehearsal in order to dupe the congressman and the visiting his other members of his team. Let's hear what this young lady has to say, because it's not adding up. I went to school and I did math. I actually did math, and that's why I can say something isn't adding up. Where is the front seat and the back seat guy? Something isn't adding up here, guys. Let's hear this young lady.
Down to meet small person from the community, but they trust me to execute the job, and it did a great impact in my life also. It did a good changes to me and also to my family.
You can tell she was forced into, and if the young lady is watching, please, I will pray for you guys. We already know what happened. Look, I see some suspicious, but we already know what happened. Once you see Kwame and his partner, Jason Abdul, and them guys there, mind you, Jason, I know what happened. Appeal, was convicted and went to prison, and then he came out when the PPP came out. I don't know what happened to that case. I don't know. Pardon me? Yeah, it's 2:18. All right, you still have time, Emma. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. So you know that these guys were actually put together. They were pulled out from somewhere and they were forced to speak. This is what's going on.
In 5 houses, and everything is going very well.
This guy is building 5 houses. 5 houses he's building. 5, y'all forget about Malcolm. Malcolm Rastaman got drink soup. Right. We see what's her name there? Can't even remember her name. She was the former mayor. But they got drink soup. But look at 5 houses he building. Y'all believe the PPP will give ye to build 5 houses? No, something ain't adding up. I want to see what 5 houses he building.
Absolutely.
But if you do some other work as well,
20 by 30.
20 by 30,
Yeah.
600 square feet.
Yeah, we get pumps. So suspend cranes and stuff. But presently it's the houses.
Congratulations.
That's a luck. He started off with drains. The congressman should know what the drains that these guys are doing. In other words, gotta walk. The PPP gave these guys gotta walk for do. Gotta walk. I know it's still something, it's better than nothing, but that's the sort of regards the PPP got for these guys. Gotta walk. And you could tell he didn't even want to lift up his hat. He building 5 houses now. 5 houses they give him a build. I want to see those houses. Right? Honestly, I want to see those houses. And for a moment, I don't think they could rattle the congressman, from Chicago. They can't rattle him. But even if they did, I want the congressman to know that this thing was rehearsed. We know these people from Guyana. We know it. These things, this particular thing was rehearsed. Let's continue.
Which is a squatting area. They did the road there. And I'm grateful and thankful. I also work at the conference center as a cleaner during conference. So they help us.
Okay, so notice what she said. She works at the conference center whenever they have conference as a cleaner. So they took her, put her as a cleaner, give her minimum wage as a part-time worker, and then round up the part-time workers and tell them they have to speak. But what have they done to these people for 23 years they have been in office? The answer is nothing. So I want the congressman to know that this was all rehearsed. It was rehearsed. Every single thing was rehearsed. That is what it was about. And so for a moment, I made to understand that the congressman, he reads the newspapers, he reads some of you guys on stuff on comments on whenever you're on his page and so forth and so on. And maybe he listens to some of these shows. Who knows? But let's continue. This part-time worker, she cleans up at the conference center whenever they have an event. In other words, she doesn't have a full-time job. And so in order for her to continue to be the part-time worker and to find a way to support her family, that the PPP is using her for these sort of props, photo ops.
Finance in our pocket so we could help out our kids. So thanks to the PPP, they have done well for us.
I'm a very hard-working person, and I'm looking for a contract right now. I really need to work to take care of my family.
So in other words, this guy here now goes out there to say that he ain't got nothing to do. Right? He ain't got nothing to do. He can't babysit. He ain't got nothing to do. So he took this opportunity now to confirm that in the community, they don't give these guys nothing. There's nothing for them to do other than hustling jobs. And when guys like Lick Lips and Abdul and them go into it is how they could basically find ways to brainwash these people. They have nothing good to give them. Look, this guy just confirmed. The guy said, man, I ain't got nothing to do. He ain't got no job, but he wants some sort of contract. He wants something to do. And that by itself shows that the PPP does nothing for the people in Alboiston. And some of the folks that you see there pretending as though they like the people of Alboiston, it's all about a hustle with them. They're basically there to hustle and hustle and hustle. That is what it's about, hustling. So I'm glad this guy has confirmed that he ain't got no job, he ain't got nothing to do.
Have a nice day.
West.
You saw the guy in the red hat there, how the guy creasing the congressman, right? He knows. The guy in the red hat, you could tell he's an old timer, right? You could tell. He, and as to the one in the red glasses there too, he knows what's going on. They know what's going on. They, anyways, let's hear Tiffany. Hi to Tiffany. Tiffany from that part of Georgetown there, where Dexter Bar used to be. Anyways, let's hear Tiffany.
And from Kuhakwe, but 2 bridges, and it was much more.
I want to say thanks to the government.
Tiffany just said 2 bridges. 2 small wooden bridges. 2 little bridges that were there for all those years, over 2 decades. The PPP didn't care about Tiffany area. They didn't care about nothing. But suddenly they go and find Tiffany and bring Tiffany out and say, Tiffany, come and say something a little nice to me. All Tiffany talked about was 2 bridges, 2 little coconut bridge with little wood on it, and that's it. And Tiffany is satisfied. I mean, this is not an insult to Tiffany. Tiffany, if you're looking, hi, how are you? But look at the guy in the red hat. Tell me what you think is going through that guy's mind. The guy in the red hat. Forget about the guy in the red t-shirt. He make sure you run quick to get a red t-shirt. He didn't care how the t-shirt looks. But look at the guy in the red hat. The man in the red hat looking, and he's probably saying, here what happened. My father, forgive me, because I know what's going on here, This thing ain't right what we doing. It ain't right what we doing. So he knows what's going on. Bridges. Tiffany and bridges. I know if it's dentist or whatever, but she talking about bridges. But let's hear this guy here now. And you'll know that this was a rehearsal. This was a puppy show in order to make it appear. And mind you, they chose all by his tongue. Because Kwame and them, they feel they could go and Abdullah, I wonder if the congressman is aware of who these people are, like Kwame and Abdullah and them. Well, let's continue.
For giving me that privilege to do that road in Sophia, and it was a good experience for me, and it done a lot for me as a young contractor and the family. So even my friends them, so I'm very thankful for that through the government.
So he's a contractor. They gave him a road to do in Sophia. Now, look, I'm not here to knock people based on how they look and whatever, and he probably could have a talent indeed. But look at the guy with the red hat again. He gone to the other side there now. He's up to something. He wants to tell the congressman that this thing is a stage thing, right? Look at the guy, right? But he's a contractor. He did road in Sophia. I want this young man, and this is not to laugh the young man because of his appearance, nothing to do with that at all. But I want him to show the evidence what road he did in Sophia. What road he did in Sophia. If the PPP guys them could take us and show us what road this guy did in Sophia as a contractor. As a contractor. What road this guy did in Sophia as a contractor. We want to see what road. But notice he said they were able to do things for him and his friends and family. He confirmed things for his friends and family. But he did road. He's a contractor. But where is the evidence? I don't know if he's a contractor or not a contractor. I don't know, guys. But the Congressman Jackson, what's going on? You're from Chicago, man. How you allow yourself to be duped like this? By the PPP, by a Kwame and those kind of guys like this? Anyways, let's continue with this contractor.
Yes.
I'm a young upcoming contractor, and let me see.
So now again, this young lady, she is a young upcoming contractor. She is a young upcoming. It means that they promise her something. Don't worry, we're going to give you a job. You're going to get a contract work. So she's a young upcoming contractor. It simply means something is in the pipeline. And so she busts the bag by coming out to say she's a young upcoming contractor. Young upcoming contractor. Let's continue, guys. Please do forgive me this afternoon. Let's continue.
PPP is not about love you receive, and they are very family oriented, and
the PPP is very family oriented. Yes, we could understand. Oh, yes. Look, the lady with the glasses right at the side of, in the front part of the congressman. When she said that the PPP is very oriented, yes, the PPP is very family oriented. I just wish that they were family oriented, because if they were family oriented, the people that suffered in Mocha, the people that suffered in Linden, the people that suffered and continue to suffer in other parts of Guyana would not have been suffering if the PPP was indeed family oriented. But the reason that the PPP and the people are suffering, that the PPP is suffering the people of Guyana, is because they are not family oriented, but instead they are family oriented. And that explains why. So the congressman is leaving Guyana with a new word, oriented, family oriented.
and I can remember before they get back in power, I was going through a phase, whereas financially, everything. And after they come back in government, I went to a minister, and he didn't even ask me who I vote for. He didn't ask me nothing but race, nothing. He just helped me out right away. He helped me out right away.
So right away, she get help out. Right away. Nobody else never do anything. The coalition never do anything for Albaistong if we listen to these folks. Right? When blood was running through Albaistong, running all through the drains and the corruption by the PPP, and then when the coalition tried to uplift all these communities, suddenly she got something to do. What has she been doing all the years prior to the PPP rigging its way back into office? What has she been doing? And man, look, sometimes I wonder why really come on for talk to y'all. And anyways, let's continue. But this what happened in Albaistong is a comedy show. Comedy show we're seeing right here.
Love that I receive is overwhelming. That caused me also to show others the love that I have been given. Also, so hats off to them, and they are doing a very, very, very good work. And nothing but a tongue.
Wait a minute, guys. Emma, can you get me some water, please? I know Emma done upset. Emma wants me to take her to ride her bike, which I will just now. So look at the congressman looking at her. Every one of them coming is the same story. Yes, same story. The same script. The same script. Next will be the same script. Next will be the same script. Don't you think the congressman already done peep the card? Don't you think the congressman already know what is going on? He from Chicago, you know, man. He already know what's going on. District 1 there out there in Chicago. You notice how he looked at Lick Kwame? He's from Chicago. He already knows what's going on. Something in smell right. Something fishy. Something in oriented. Something is not orienting. That's a new word according to her. Something isn't orienting. I don't know if y'all think it's orienting, but something in orienting. Let's continue.
Faith and here in George. I was born in this area. This is my community. A few years ago, 2018, I was in Port Kaituma. I had business up there, driving taxi and everything. And I broke the lock for the present vice president. And as a result of that, all my contract was taken away, everything. Bank was coming down on my mortgage. Everything was going up. What should I say? I was going to the ground. And I want to thank the president of Guyana. I went to him as the first man on a mission when he launched it the Friday. And I went to him and I said, sir, my wife, $1 million being taken away from her. Number two, all my contract have been taken away from me. This is my mom. I born in this crewmate. Everybody know me here. And he said to me, he said, went on the phone and he called. He said, it can be taken away of. And he said to them, he said, fix it by next week, Wednesday. So I just said, Mr. President, when you asked me my name, he said, man, it's fixed. And from since then to now, life has been transformed from this. Not only what happened for me, I was able to transfer the lives all of my members, Port Kaituma, Mabura, Maruka, Parfait, and this one I'm at the new centralized school. I'm using that. Not only that, the president also came to me and said, Pastor, I'll give you a piece of land. And today we have a piece of land.
So, Pastor, who got saved not by God, not by Jesus Christ, if we are to listen to this story of this pastor, hallelujah, this pastor got saved by Irfan Ali. Well, the Bible says that there will be days where those will be sheep in wolf clothing and men. I don't know. I don't want to judge this guy, but this pastor was not saved by the Lord. He was not saved by anybody else. But according to him, Irfan Ali rescued him. Give me a piece of land and he's all right and he's hallelujah and everybody. And so again, the script, when you look at the script, is the same script. Same script. Look, Malcolm know that something ain't right, something wrong. Even the guy in the white short jacket and all. It's like everybody, even Trisha. But Trisha looks happy. Even Trisha there with the burgundy pants. Even Trisha probably wouldn't go to certain church. But Pastor, is what going on here, man. Is what going on. Somebody set me up to do this show, right? Pastor, let me say a word of Pastor. Pastor, y'all know what y'all up to there, right? Y'all know the congressman in buying what's going on there right now. This is a stage something. It is a stage, and you see that guy all the way at the back there behind Malcolm, not the one with the dread, the one with the glasses. He's a cricketer. You could tell these things were they were staged. Oh, I feel like I don't know if I laugh or cry. Look at what's going on here. All right, Pastor.
That we're building our church. It's 125 feet by 125 feet. Prime land, sir. Prime land. So I just want to say to you, God is doing a great work now, sir. A great work. And in this community, I'll be able to help you to our president.
Look at this guy. And look how the congressman is looking at him. Remember, the congressman grew up, he already knows was a hustler, was not a hustler. His dad, being a civil rights leader, Reverend Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive, right? And the Jonathan Jackson, congressman, knows that when his dad say, keep hope alive, he knows that the PPP cannot keep hope alive for the people at All Boys Town there. What the PPP is doing to the people of All Boys Town is using them, manipulating them with just crumbs. This pastor in pastoring up, something in adding up. And because of that, we already know that this was set up. Let's continue.
Me and my family and my country people and across the country. Thank you, sir.
And I want to congratulate President Ali because he has been doing a wonderful job.
Trisha is a former PNCR councillor. She has been a councillor during the coalition days. The coalition did a great job according to Trisha. The works that happened in her community, we never saw that sort of interest for the 23 years that the PPP were in office. But after the elections, Tricia decided, look, like Malcolm and them, and like that former mayor, she there right in the background. For some reason, I don't even remember her name. But this is all staged as we continue.
Communities are breaking that discrimination barrier that is being peddled. Our community is moving ahead, and I'm really happy for that. So, Congressman, I just want to say thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let me hear from you.
Also, I'm
Thank you.
young
Thank you, sir.
construction, QM construction. I do 2 roads in Afghanistan, and I want to thank this government.
This guy's a young construction. Right? So, what's going on? Can you give me a bottle of water, please, Emma? Thank you. You'll go ride your bike just now, sweetheart. Yeah, I got people's work to do and I got babysitting to do. But this guy's a young construction. So you guys see what's understand, right? You see what's going on. This guy's a young construction. Young construction. Let's hear what this young construction has to say. 2 roads he done build, he getting contracts. We want to see the evidence of these things, man. Lots of young contracts.
Since I had a problem and I had to run out this country and come back to the government, and give me it.
So you had a problem, you had to run out the country, and you come back in, and they give you a walk. You come back in, you run out, you come back. It's fine. Oh man, Cayenne is something else. But let's continue, man.
I thank them for the work.
Congratulations, man.
So nice that my kids them is come out every afternoon and enjoy. Right at Castillo, I was visiting right on the boulevard, the front side. So they have funds every day coming out. So when I don't have to worry about nothing because people always watch over and stuff over your children. And it's a nice playground and stuff. Most is that side have a lot of playgrounds. A lot of children come out and enjoy themselves out there. For the president do a very good job. And really thanks for it.
Thank you for sure. I'd very much like to come and spend some more time. This was put together very quickly, but I'm grateful.
Did you guys hear there, right? It was put together very quickly. This was done right after MOCA. Right after MOCA. They decided that they're going to put something together. You know, like you come home and you're hungry and you want to put something together and there's really nothing. And then you just ting up little rice and you fry little eggs and you throw little pepper sauce and you go down on your veranda and you lash it. Well, in my case, basement, a little choker basement, and you lash it. That is what's good. So that is what these people did. This was a last minute something. A last minute something. The congressman confirmed that this was a last minute something put together. It's a put together something. I like the fact that he said put together. Let's hear.
And this was put together very quickly, but I'm grateful that you came out. Thanks for sharing with your stories, and I look forward to seeing you real soon, okay?
Take your time. Oh, Malcolm. Oh, look, picture. Chase Green going for she picture too. And so that's the story with how the congressman was taken to Albistown for a rehearsal, something that was rehearsed, and they wanted to impress upon the congressman. And we all know what happened there. We're not people. We know what happened there. And I just thought that it is indeed, Noah, a Nancy story. Nancy story, you know, like it's bedtime story. But there's exactly what we did there. Nancy story for you guys. Nancy story. Nancy story, as Wayne Caesar put it, and Wayne Caesar said, put together for damage control. Of course, they received a trashing yesterday, and this was put together yesterday. You notice the congressman and his team members, they have on the same clothes as in MOCA. So it was done right after MOCA Arcadia. Right after that. Look, guys, it's 2:43. My name is Mark Benshaw. Before I head back to my job, babysitter, you know, I saw this and it was quite interesting. We gotta. If you have loved ones who are buried and they have their tombs coming up to elections time, you cover it up, chain it up, so that your loved ones wouldn't come out and vote for the PPP. We know that the PPP is notorious for this, and people are taking these measures into covering up their loved ones' tombs so that they wouldn't go out and vote for the PPP this time around. As the last time you see, what was it? Quite a few dead voters, dead persons, 6-1 dead voters, 6-1. This time around, people are not taking chances. They're not taking chances. Look. Shame on the corrupt PPP regime. Shame on them. Shame. All right, and shame. And meanwhile, Irfan is going around grabbing the young ladies like that. They mainly, and you see, Irfan Ali does this when he goes around African women, African Guyanese women. He grabs them and he pulls their hands and he just all manner of things in terms of taking a picture. If you are a head of state, whether fake, whether installed, you got to take appropriate photographs. You cannot move around like that. To grab somebody like that and it's not adding up, guys. It's just not adding up at all, unfortunately. Hey, you guys, let's get back to Khadaki as we prepare to, because you guys know I got to head back to my babysitting job, right? So Khadaki is still in the lockups. The PPP is targeting folks as a result of their ethnicity and their political affiliation. Khadaki Amsterdam has been locked up. He has spent a night in the police lockups as a political prisoner because of his ethnicity and because of his political views. That is what it is all about. But if I walk you through back to in 2016, when the coalition was in office, this woman, Bibi Safura Salim, and the case was dismissed. She didn't go to jail. They didn't put her through all manner of stuff. The case was dismissed. And this is someone who, according to the report, she basically went and said that David Granger, this is what, in 2016, she was charged with posting death threats related to President David Granger via Facebook. And the charges were thrown out by the magistrate because they didn't shackle her or anything like that. The magistrate ruled that the particular offense did not create, or the particular allegation did not create an offense. It did not. And then one of the charges alleged that during the period of March 1st and 31st of 2016, Salim attempted to incite hostility or ill will against President Granger by posting on her Facebook page, and I quote, "Granger want a bullet in he head." Granger want a bullet in he head. And that's it. Under the coalition, it's done, it's gone. And then there was this guy, Motilal Balkaran, and all these. And I'm looking at what was allegedly said by these folks compared to what is being alleged that Khadaki did. Khadaki didn't do anything. There's no evidence that Khadaki did anything. But look at this, back in 2018 now, elderly man charged with threatening the life of President Granger. Motilal. Lotilal? Well, Motilal. There is Motilal. Motilal. 65-year-old Motilal from East Coast Demerara, a resident, is among 3 people facing possible charges for allegedly making threats against the life of President Granger. A police release stated blah, 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 blah. Right? And then in 2017, there was another who called from where? From the prisons. Right? Who called from the prisons. And these guys never suffered these sort of things that Khadaki is going through at this point in time. Never, 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 never. But look at this here too. This is 2018. Alim Ali, tearful prisoner, pleads guilty to threatening to kill President David Granger. And what he got? Just he was already in prison, and they give him a 1 month for threatening language, and the next couple of months for something else. That's all. And he's done. He's done with. He's gone. No big time hullabaloo. He was already in prison. But these other folks, nothing happened. Nothing happened. But yet, Khadaki Amsterdam, as a result of a racist, corrupt PPP regime, look at what he is enduring today. And if you can't see that the laws are different and the punishments are different for African Guyanese, the PPP regime is ruthless and vicious and vindictive against persons of African descent. That is exactly what they're about. And so they wanted to paint the impression, give the Congressman Jackson the impression that things are all hunky-dory in Guyana and that they love persons of African descent. They love persons of African descent, but that is not true. But hey, you remember this here, right? Men were seen, men on tape. This guy went and he basically said that a businessman, quote unquote, a so-called businessman, offered him $7 million to assassinate President David Granger. $7 million. This is what this guy admitted to in an interview with Travis Chase. But what came out of it? You think they went after those guys and put shackles on them or anything like? No. So you guys see the difference? You see the difference? You understand where I'm going with this? But I'm not done yet. Just to expose the corrupt, racist, apartheid PPP regime. How many of you guys remember this here?
We gonna have a grand time, all light tonight, all light tonight. All of the blow.
A guy who works for a so-called security firm that is pro-PPP. Lots of guns in a car, showing off and talking what they are going to do, or what his plans were to do with Granger and the coalition government. Listen to this.
We gonna have a grand time, all light tonight, all light tonight. All of the blow. Blow got blow by.
Blow got blow by. Khadaki Amsterdam has done nothing close, nothing, absolutely nothing even remotely close to that. And understand when we say that Khadaki Amsterdam is being targeted for his political views and because of his ethnicity. There is no evidence that Khadaki Amsterdam made any threats against anybody. If you want to say that he did not say, we don't know where that tape is coming from. We don't know whether they sliced it. We don't know whether it was edited. We just do not know. But what we do know is that Khadaki Amsterdam has done absolutely nothing wrong. Now, when Sharma, many years ago, someone called in on Sharma's program and said that they wanted to tickle Barra Jack Deal. And when I say tickle, you know what I mean by that. Can't say exactly. They wanted to tickle him and whatever. And so Jack Deal thought that it was a threat against his life. And therefore, guess what they did? They didn't go and put Sharma in shackles and dash him in the lockups and so forth. They suspended his television license for 6 months. What the caller said on Sharma's program was direct and worse than what they are alleging that somebody said on Khadaki's show. So what they did to Sharma was suspend Sharma from off the air for 6 months. They didn't lock him up, they didn't charge him or anything of that sort, but they locked Khadaki up. They're bringing up all sorts of frivolous accusations against Khadaki, all because Khadaki is an African Guyanese. All because Khadaki shares a different political view. He is a member of the Working People's Alliance. And this sort of hypocrisy, this sort of vindictiveness and spite against persons of African descent by the PPP has got to stop. And no matter how much they put together a couple of rehearsals and get a couple of persons who collect crumbs and so forth to make it appear that they care about Black people, about African Guyanese, they just don't. They just don't. The evidence is clear. Khadaki has done nothing wrong. All they want to do is to punish Khadaki, to set an example. But what they have done, they have made Khadaki 10 times stronger, and they have made others even stronger in the struggle to rid the nation of a corrupt, of an oppressive regime at the next elections by voting them out.
We gonna have a grand time, all night tonight, all night to all of the blow, blow, blow. Blow, blow, got blow by. Must come them want come out, don't fucking come out now.
Few moments later.
We gonna have a grand time in the lockup, in the lockup. Let it blow, blow, blow. They got blow bys, blow, blow now in the lockups.
Even in the lockups, couple mornings we saw all the guns and everything, and the blow gun blow, let it blow, blow, blow. We gonna have a, that was a direct threat against the state. He wasn't charged with treason. There was no incitement. There was no sedition. He didn't. In fact, all those guns, I suppose, were sent back to the owners or the owner. All the guns. But yet, Khadaki Amsterdam is faced with persecution at the hands of a corrupt, racist regime. I showed you guys all of the evidence to substantiate and to make this case out that Khadaki Amsterdam is a political prisoner and is being targeted as a result of his political views and as a result of his ethnicity. That is what this is all about. No if or ands about it. The PPP has no case against Khadaki Amsterdam. None whatsoever. There's no case, there's nothing against him. But they just want to. They just want to, and I wanted to play something else for you guys. They just want to punish Khadaki Amsterdam. That is what it's about. And we cannot have anybody in government who goes after citizens as a result of their political affiliation to punish them. And every time the corrupt PPP is in office, they want to punish people. That is what they are about, punishing people, whether economically or in the judicial sense. That is what they do. They punish people. But enough, at some point in time, enough will be enough. And I'm saying to these Pakus in the PPP regime that the sensible thing to do is to release Khadaki Amsterdam with immediate effect. That's all. Release Khadaki Amsterdam with immediate effect. He has done nothing wrong. There is no evidence, and it is foolish of the PPPC to force the police force to release what they consider as evidence that someone allegedly called into The evidence is already there out in public domain. How are you going to release? Why didn't they release that evidence when allegations were made about Dharam Lal? Why didn't they release the evidence when allegations were made against Jagdeo by Sue? Why didn't they release the evidence when allegations were made by the 19 fraud charges against Irfan Ali? Why didn't they release those evidence? But no. The other thing, when Dharam Lal was invited, he wasn't arrested. A brutal allegation of a brutal rape. He wasn't arrested, he was invited. I wonder if they took his fingerprints. No, but you see how they're attempting to criminalize persons of African descent. If they can't control you, they will criminalize you. They will ensure that charges are trumped up against you, or if not, they will ensure that their cronies kill you. That is what the PPPC does. That is exactly what the PPPC does. And now let me say this too. When you guys call in on shows, understand that the stack of cards is against you. The PPP is a racist party. What idiots like the likes of those critic and whoever they are, they can say anything. They can cuss out. They can do anything to anybody. It is not cybercrime. It is not cyberbullying. It is not incitement. It is nothing. But yet they go and sit next to Barra Jagdeo and they're comfortable with that. What has Khadaki Amsterdam done to deserve being treated in this manner? What? Khadaki Amsterdam should be released, and I repeat, Khadaki Amsterdam should be released with immediate effect. It's up to the government now, or the so-called government. The ball is in their hands. But what I do know is come elections time, the ball will be in all of the citizens' hands. Karma is a beach. B-E-A-C-H, right? Karma is a beach. And I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later on tonight. Khadaki Amsterdam, political prisoner, ought to be freed with immediate effect. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm out of here.
Hey fans, it's karaoke and oldies night this and every Thursday at Club Twilight Sideline Dam, Buxton. Dance to the magical songs of yesteryear by popular DJs and Camps Audio. Admission is free. Come out, let's make memories at Club Twilight Sideline Dam, Buxton North.